Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the REDX podcast. My name is Haley Johnson. I will be your host today. We have a very special guest with us, a first timer, never been on the REDX podcast before, so we're really excited. Welcome, Deven.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Yes, we're so excited. Hey, so for the people that are watching today who may not know who you are, could you just give us a little brief rundown what you do and why you're talking about what we're talking about today?
Yeah, so I work with the team at Storyy. We help a lot of real estate agents create content for social media and just make sure social media actually works. You've probably heard this from other agents, but social media doesn't work for them. And then you go to their profile and they're posting like flyers, stock content, and we don't want them to do that. So basically, we help agents create better content and engaging content online. So it's kind of just a little bit about what we do.
Awesome. I love it. Thanks, Deven. And you are director of business development over there, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yep.
Awesome. Cool. Well, let's get into it for the people that are watching today. I just want to say this is a participatory event. So if you want to ask Deven any questions while we're talking today, please just chat them in wherever you're watching from, and we'll make sure to get those answered. So, and I also wanted to mention, if you got our marketing and our emails earlier today, we did have a last minute cancellation. So that is why Deven is here, and he jumped in last minute. So thank you so much for that. If you are wanting to watch April Hunter, we were going to talk about expireds and stuff that will be coming in the future. She just had something come up. So not today, but we're going to be talking about something equally as important as social media. So I'm really excited to get into some of this stuff with you, Deven. So
Yeah, let's do it.
Why don't we start with, so a lot of agents, I think, are the people that watch the REDX podcast and things like that, and that are getting into REDX are often newer agents. So they're just now getting their feet wet. They're first getting into real estate, and it's kind of overwhelming sometimes because there's so much to do. So let's talk about that. Like, where can a real estate agent start with social media if maybe they haven't started, or they haven't been prioritizing it enough? Let's start there.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I think social media is like the perfect place to start because, first of all, it's completely free. It doesn't cost you anything. And secondly, with all these platforms trying to compete with TikTok, you're going to be able to gain an audience so much quicker. Where if you asked me a month ago with Facebook, you have a Facebook page, but you're limited to those followers. And same with Instagram. Before they came out with Instagram Reels, you were only limited to your followers unless if you put an ad spend around it. But now with TikTok and Facebook wanting to take over TikTok and compete with them, you're going to reach people beyond those followers. And what's nice about that with the algorithm is that it's only going to reach people that are interested in real estate. So you're reaching the people that you want to be reaching on social.
Okay. So that's been a big change kind of recently, right? Yeah. So people that aren't adapting to that probably are missing out on a huge, tremendous opportunity.
Yeah, and it's scary too with video content. Like, I'm going to be real with you. It's scary to do that for the first time, but there are some things that you can do to get more and more comfortable. And one thing that I did when I started about 4 years ago is I would practice recording videos once a day, even if I didn't post the video. So I set a reminder on my phone. So definitely this is something I suggest. Send a reminder on your phone or even an alarm in the morning once you get to work and record one video. And just keep recording video, even if you don't post it. And you're going to notice your videos are going to get better and better over time. So that's something I definitely recommend doing.
Okay, that's good. That's good advice. I was thinking, I think a lot of, even myself with creating social content, even for just REDX, it is nerve-wracking, even though it's just a phone, right? You're not talking to actual people when you're creating video content, but it's daunting. And so I think that's a really good pointer, is just get started and practice. I hear all the time from agents, they say it doesn't have to be perfect, but if you just get started, you'll get better over time, right? Have you seen that?
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, people aren't worrying if your hair is a little bit messed up, if you said if you said but, if there's an awkward pause. They really don't care, because when you think about social media, when someone gets on social, they're mindlessly scrolling through the platform. And the reason why we want you to post on social media is because when your name comes up, even if they don't watch your video, they're going to remember who you are and what you're doing. And the point is to consistently be creating that content, so you're always top of mind with your clients.
Awesome. So for somebody like, let's say, I mean, TikToks is newer, so I don't think a lot of
Yeah.
people might not be on it, or I mean, they might scroll through it, but they might not actually create content. What are some good like best practices, maybe even
Yeah.
or Instagram Reels or things like that, like that an agent can start if they're not super familiar with the platform?
Yeah, and I actually got a funny story with this. So we have a lot of clients we help on Reels and TikTok, and this client, he paid like 3 grand for this social media coach. And the client came back to us and said, "Are you doing this?" I'm like, "Yep." "Are you doing this?" "Yep." "Are you doing this?" "Yep." And it's like, we were doing all these things. So guys, I'm basically going to give you 3 grand worth of information so you don't have to pay for a social media coach.
Oh, okay. Let's
So,
go.
so first things first, how do you format your videos for social media? And we have this philosophy of the 1 minute video. So you're going to have your hook, your message, and your outro. And these are some common things you want to try to avoid on your hook. The first thing is introducing yourself at the beginning of the video or talking about the video before it starts. And actually, one more thing, saying, "Hey guys," or "Welcome everybody" when you start that video. And I'll give you an example right now. So pretend I'm going to record a video for IG Reels and no one's ever seen me before. This is their first time seeing me. And I started with, "Hi, my name is Deven Gillen. I'm the business development director of Storyy. And I do this. And this is what we're going to talk about on the video." And hey guys, like, it just like, you don't know what I'm going to talk about. And it took too long. So you're going to hop off the video. So what you can do is get straight to the hook. You got to capture them in those first 3 to 5 seconds. The second thing is your message or the story. So what I suggest you do is grab a sticky note, write down 3 things you want to talk about on that story, and then put it on your phone so it looks like you're still looking at your phone so you can reference back to it. And what that allows you to do is it allows you to avoid talking in circles, because I do it. A lot of people do it. It helps you get straight to the point. And then the last part is the outro. So the outro is basically a call to action. It doesn't have to always be sales. You actually want to avoid sales. It's like, Haley, if I met you at a networking event and all I was doing was selling you, you're like, "Who's this guy?" And like, you're going to try to avoid me at all costs, right?
Right.
But if I said, "Hey, Haley, I was looking at your social profiles before I came to the event and I noticed you could do these sort of things," you're going to be more likely to engage in that conversation because I'm giving you educational tips. So one thing that you can do for your outro is ask them to comment, ask them to like the post, ask them to share the post with someone else, because you want to try to keep them in the platform is what I always suggest. And I saw this TikTok the other day, and this guy posted a short clip of a YouTube video, and he said, "Watch the rest of my video go to my YouTube channel to watch the rest of my video." And the top comment was the guy that said, "Hey buddy, no one's going to go to YouTube. They're going to stay on TikTok. Like, I'm not going outside of the platform to go to that unless if I'm on YouTube." So yeah, those are some things as you're recording the video. And then we can talk about the tactical things too when you're posting it. Do you want me to get into that?
Yeah, I would love that.
Okay. So things have changed a lot recently. TikTok, or this actually came out from Google data, and it was people are searching more through TikTok for their how-tos or how to get their education than they are through Google. So Google and TikTok are competing right now. So what you can do is think of a common question you're getting in your industry, type that in Google and go to the very bottom of that search, and you're going to get like 6 to 8 common questions of related articles. Create content for all of those questions, and you're going to be ahead of the game. A lot of people aren't doing that. They're trying to go viral, but right now TikTok is focusing on SEO. So is Instagram, so is Facebook. And instead of posting, so we used to do this even like a couple months ago. So kind of being a hypocrite, but we'd post a lot of hashtags in our posts because that was a strategy even 2 months ago. Currently, you only want to have 3 to 5 hashtags in your posts. And it doesn't matter if it's the first comment in the post or it's in the post. There's a lot of data that came out. Like, it really doesn't make a difference, but try to limit the hashtags. Because if I have a common hashtag I use for every post, but it doesn't match the content I'm recording about, then I'm not going to get as rewarded as I would be from Instagram or those platforms. So I hope that helps.
That's really good, because we get all the time like agents, I mean, the first thing is like, "Oh, I don't want to record video, that's scary." And then also like, what do I even post about? Right. And
Right.
so I want to ask you, what is like a good for a real estate agent, right? They also
Yeah.
want to be the expert in real estate, but a lot of them
Mhm.
are trying to just build their database, and they're trying to stay in contact with their contacts anyway. So even real estate agents,
Mhm.
maybe they don't really need to go viral in order to get more business. They just need to be kind of the expert in their area. So what would you say is
Right.
like a good mix of content? Like, should they have personal content about themselves, about who they
Mhm.
are? Should they stick to real estate? Like, what's a good distribution of content there?
Yeah, so I saw a comment too from Diana. She said she scares making videos, and thank you, Diana, for being like saying that and being transparent. I was actually in Vegas last week, so it's funny you mentioned that you're from Vegas, but I want to break down why someone will follow you on social media because it will help you create the content that will be engaging for your audience. So there's two reasons why someone will follow you on social, and the first reason is because they know you or they want to get to know you. The second reason is because you know something. So you have a lot of education or experience about the specific subject. And one thing I see a lot of agents do is they'll create a separate personal Instagram account from their business account. You should actually combine those. And the reason is because you're hitting both those points, which a lot of people aren't doing. So I'd say just make sure you have a mix of content of personal things and also educational things. And one more thing, don't only talk about real estate. It's like if I heard a song on the radio and then I hear it in the supermarket and then it's playing on my kid's phone when I get home, I'm going to get really annoyed of it and bored of it. So I'm going to be like, okay, no more of that song. We're done with what did the fox say, right? And that video that was very popular. So same thing with real estate. Like people are going to tune you out if all you create is real estate content. And what I suggest is pick 5 topics you want to talk about and make that your content. And we send out weekly trend reports. Our company does of things that are trending in the industry, and I can throw that in the chat later on. But it will definitely help
Yeah.
you create at least trending content for real estate in the housing industry.
I love that. That's awesome. Okay, yeah, and we'll definitely put that in the show notes as well. So another question I have is, where is something, and we've talked about it a little bit throughout this, but I'm wondering about real estate agents that what more do they do? What are some of the pitfalls they fall into when it comes to social media? Maybe when they're new to social media or whatever. What are some mistakes that the people that are watching, we can help them avoid those?
Oh, 100%. So this is my favorite thing I hear from real estate agents when I hop on a call with them, and it's social media isn't working for me. And then I'll get on their profile, and I mentioned this at the beginning, but it's a bunch of flyers or it's a bunch of stock content like Merry Christmas. The reason why you don't want to post that type of content is because the platforms will actually degrade your account because you're not creating engaging content. So right, like you could hire someone for like $100 a month and they could create a bunch of stock content for you, but it's not really going to do anything. You need to create content that's you. So I'd say the first mistake that I see is an agent will hire someone to create stock content for them and it doesn't do anything for their profiles. And then they say social media doesn't work. I'm trying to think of some other things. A second thing is if you start recording video, they'll stop after a month or two because they face creator's block. They're not sure what to say. Yeah. They don't want to take the time to record. So if you're going to start recording video, just put it in your mind that you're going to start doing it consistently because that's when you start building your business. And we go back to being viral, right? So a lot of people are like, how come I'm not going viral? How come I'm not getting as many comments as the other guy? Well, first thing, a lot of social media coaches, and I've seen agents do it too, is they'll buy a lot of comments and likes on their posts. So most of the time they might not even be real. And you can tell by that because the comments will say, awesome, great post, I love you, like very like generic posts, right? And if you're consistently creating creating content, you're building a really good audience. Maybe it's not millions of people, maybe it's just tens or maybe even hundreds of people. But I'd rather have 100 followers than 1,000 fake followers that are following my account. So consistency is key, guys.
I love that. That's the name of the game, is consistency. But I like that you said you'd rather have 100 real followers than 1,000 fake ones, because that's still 100 people, especially for a real estate agent, right? As they put those people into their lives and in their database and everything, like that's 100 people looking at you all the time. And if one of those does a deal in a month or two, they're going to be seeing your content and they're going to want to reach out. So I love that. We did have a couple questions come in. One from Jesse. I'll show this up here. Pinterest clips reels have been receiving 3K to 5K views. Should I continue to repost to new trending sounds? Good question.
Yeah, no, that is a great question. So you're posting it, you're saying, okay, I'm just trying to dissect that real quick for you so I can make sure I give you a good one. I would say if you don't have background music on it already, try reposting it and see if it does better on Instagram Reels and also TikTok. I always recommend recording a new video because you're going to have new knowledge, you're going to have new experiences, and something you want to consistently be doing is mixing up your background. I'm a hypocrite of that. If you go to my social profile, my background is like literally this. But people think I'm recording the same video because I do that. So make sure you're mixing up your background. But yeah, you can see what it does, but I would say record a new video just because you're going to have different points of view and it's going to be better content the more video you record.
So when you post from different things, I think like even YouTube Shorts or something is what it's called. There's like, I mean, it's everywhere now on every social platform. Do you just use the same video for all of them and just like I've seen people put TikToks on Reels and you can see the TikTok like logo and everything on it. Like, what do you have any advice on that?
Yeah, so this is my opinion. We did this with one of our clients. So he does a lot of YouTube. So YouTube is going to be longer content, 5 to 7 minutes, and we pulled short clips from that YouTube channel and we posted it to all social platforms. And what we realized was his reach was going down a little bit. So we had him create videos that were separate from his long form YouTube videos, and they actually performed a lot better. I think like he probably gets 20 times the amount of views and likes and comments that he's getting now. So if you do create content and you go across every platform, you can do it for social, but make sure YouTube is different. So you can do YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Instagram Reels, all of those it can be one video, and then just make sure you're using the trending sound on that platform. But yeah, you could totally do that as long as it's separate from long form YouTube videos.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I've seen people. I mean, that's a common practice. If you're creating a really long YouTube video, it's really easy to just splice it up and put it into other stuff. But that's interesting that you're seeing if you actually just create the video for the specific platform that it does better.
Yeah, 100%. It's good too. It's because like it's more user generated content, right? You're using your phone or the YouTube. Yeah. It's working a lot better for this guy. So it's pretty cool to see.
That's awesome. Another question from Precious. She asked, how do you combine the IG personal and business without deactivating the account? So talking about making sure that they're one. I don't know if you can do that, but do you know?
No, there isn't a way. So if you have 2 separate accounts, I would probably, this is just my advice, you can take it with a grain of salt. I would probably pick your personal account because you're going to have more of your followers like actually know you. And if you're thinking about making the switch, make the switch today. It's easy to transform your personal account into a business account, but if you have them separated into 2 different accounts, I don't believe there's a way to combine those.
Cool. Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's good because I think like personal, I think you can just start now and start adding more business things into it. Whereas a business account might be a little bit harder to then add personal stuff to it. So that's awesome. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So I want to talk a little bit. We've got a few minutes here. I want to talk a little bit more about Storyy and also REDX's new product, Brand Builder, which is powered by Storyy. So I want to talk, tell me a little bit about what you do for clients, what you're doing right now. And then we can talk about Brand Builder and how that's also agents are using that to be successful with social media.
Yeah, 100%. I'd say the first thing, sign up for our trend reports. They're completely free and we'll give you weekly like news articles, trending sounds, memes, tips, everything in those weekly trend reports to help you succeed on social. Doesn't cost anything. So definitely sign up. And then going into the brand builder account, what we do. So a lot of agents, we talked about like the pitfalls and they'll start creating content and then they stop after a month or two. So what we do is we send you prompts every day throughout the week of what to record. So you're consistently creating video content. You give us that video, we edit the video, we post it for you with captions and hashtags that are relevant to the video. And then we boost it to your clients and leads. So you guys, I know REDX does like a lot of leads and you can probably go to that more, Haley, with expired and everything, but we'll boost it to those audiences. So we basically take it from start to finish. So if you're a busy agent or a new agent, all we ask from you is basically 10 minutes a week to record a video and get it to us. And we take it from there. We make it look really cool online.
Yeah, this is awesome for agents who are super busy and are a little bit overwhelmed with creating all of this content. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot to create the videos and then edit them and make captions and hashtags and do all this research that Deven and his team do already. And so it's a great solution if that's what you're looking for. We actually came out with Brand Builder, which is powered by Storyy, and that is a little bit different where if you purchase leads from REDX, so let's say expired leads, for example, they'll actually target those leads with the content that they're creating. So you can create a video about like why your home expired or something like that, similar to what an expired lead would be interested in. And Storyy or brand builder will take that content and will target your leads for you. So it's kind of cool. It does both of it for you. Any leads, any lead source that you buy from us, we can do that for you. But also, if you don't have leads with REDX, you can just do brand builder by itself and still create social media content for whatever topics that you're wanting. So if anyone on my team can go and post in the comments our brand builder website, just to give you a little bit more of an idea of what it is. It's really cool. REDX uses it. We actually have Storyy do all of our social content. So you can go even look at our social media and look at what they've created just for us. Or you can go on that website and see a lot of other agents who are using it and see the content that they're creating for agents. It's so cool. It's so easy. You just I know creating videos is a little daunting, but all you have to do is sit in front of a camera, talk about what you're already an expert in because you're a real estate agent, and send it off, and they do the rest of the work. So it's such a cool product. I'm obviously a fan. So awesome. Oh, and we did have a question come in. I'll put this up. So is there a way to get specific people in my area to see my posts? I've tried location tagging, but I'm not too sure. And I think this is also good if we want to touch on ads, if you have anything, advice for targeted campaigns and stuff.
Totally. So basically, I want to talk about too, like kind of how this started. So about 4 years ago, we were in the mortgage industry and we were helping these loan officers run ad campaigns. If you've run Facebook ads before, put it like a yes in the chat, because this is actually a funny story. So we were noticing there were a lot of loan officers that were running these Facebook ads, but they were getting like terrible leads or it just wasn't converting. And we would talk to loan officers and we'd say, hey, we need you to record video content. So they would record the video content, we'd edit it, and then we'd turn it into an ad. And those leads just like were outperformed because they're actually meeting someone through social instead of seeing like a stock image of like the family in the front yard moving into the home in the video. It was actually them. So those leads converted way better and higher. So with ads, if you're going to start boosting or running ads, just make sure it's content that's you. And going back to that question with location, you can inside of Facebook ads. Facebook is like getting really restricted with their targeting. So what I would suggest you do is do your location around your area and then add a couple of the interests that Facebook has in there if you don't already have an audience, which is going to be like Zillow.com, Trulia.com, mortgage calculator. There's a lot in there that you can select from, and they're removing a little bit each week. So just make sure you use it while you can before they might remove it all. So they are getting more and more strict, but
yeah, that's what's fun about it. Kind of trial and error. Cool. Awesome. Well, this has been awesome. Like so much jam-packed information in just like 30 minutes, which is awesome. But we are running out of time here. Deven, thank you so much for coming last minute too, to help people be a little bit better with their social media. I think we've given some really cool, just small tactical things that don't take a lot of effort that they can go and do. I loved your Google example of just going and Googling something and looking at the suggested questions. So that's awesome. I don't think I've heard that before from somebody, so that's awesome. But before I'll give you the last word here, is there anything else that we haven't touched on that you think is important, or any last words for real estate agents trying to get into social media?
No, I'd just say start recording video content. If you want access to our trend reports, if you could just throw trend reports in the chat and I'll make sure my team gets you added to that, and we'll grab the email from Haley, but that's what I'll end with.
Awesome. Cool. That's great. And we'll also put that in the show notes for anyone that is interested or that is listening to this afterward. So thanks everybody for tuning into this episode of the REDX podcast. It's been awesome. We are here every single Thursday at 1:30 p.m. Mountain Time. So we will be right back here next week. Be sure to subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, or you can join our Facebook group. It's called the Lead Gen Conversation. We have great conversations like this in that Facebook group all the time. So be sure to join that. And last thing, if you want to subscribe to the podcast, and get emails for whatever when we have new episodes, just go to theredx.com/podcast and put your email in. And I think that's it. Awesome. Thanks so much, Deven. And we'll see
Sweet. Thank you,
everybody
Haley.
next week.
See you guys.